Boom.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the Oh Grow Up podcast. Back with us again, a friend we've had since, I think, episode 1. You were the
shit.
first one.
Holy cow.
Oh, my God. And this is
Crazy.
number 3.
Wow.
So we're on our third
Yeah.
episode. It only took us 4 years to get to our third episode.
Yeah.
How you doing, David Delgado?
I'm doing really good. I'm
remember-
doing really good.
I asked you, the first question was like, oh, do you go by Dave? You're like, not too many Mexican Daves walking
No,
around.
not too many Daves. Yeah, not too many. Dave's not here. Yeah.
Literally one of my favorite lines. And it was like in my first episode. But we've moved a long way. I used to record on a single iPhone. Now we've actually got
Yeah.
a legit studio.
Yeah, this is badass.
I appreciate it.
I like it.
You said you've been off the scene for a while. So have I. So
Yeah, you
catching
know.
up.
Yeah, man. Playing a lot of pool.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I go to. I haven't been hitting any mics. I just hit my first Thursday, or actually, like second or something in a while.
Mhm.
I did the Nanos a couple times.
Nice.
I did pretty good.
I always hear
You know
good
what I
things
mean?
about Nanos.
Yeah. Nanos is great. You should go to the next one. Yeah, that is, like, I don't know if you remember how the old Oscar Blues used to be.
I've only been in there twice. So
Packed.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the old Oscar Blues shows were pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And this is pretty comparable. Well, actually, it's in some ways it might be better.
Yeah, I've literally every single person that I've had on that's talked about Nanos has been like, they almost talk about it being like the big venue, like it's almost like a real show.
It is.
Like, hey, I'm doing Nanos. And it's like,
yeah.
holy shit! Like, congrats, man. Especially if you're on, because it's a show and then an open mic, I believe.
Yep.
Right? It's both.
For sure.
So like, if you score that Nano show, like legit, like
Yep.
people are gonna be hearing about you.
Oh yeah, it's cool. What is it? People have been like, "What should I do for this show?" And I'm like, "You do a real set.
You're
Don't do anything new.
yeah.
You know what I
You're
mean?
proven material.
Do your tried and true because it's a show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
You said it competes with Oscar Blues too.
yeah, man. Back in the
Wow.
day, man, when I first came here, Oscar Blues was wow. You know what I mean? That show
I
was
heard
pretty
the
good.
host had a falling out with Oscar Blues. Then he said, "Fuck it, I'm going across the street."
Yeah,
And then
he
there's
did.
some dick measuring. Yeah.
yeah, right next to each other doing their stuff.
On the
And
same
that's what's
night
funny.
too, right?
Yeah, and yeah, it's kind of crazy. Politics and the scene. You know what I mean?
As much as I love talking to people on the scene and everything, I really feel this is a tight scene. When you talk to people off mic, you're like, oh, there's a lot of undercurrent in this. Like, there's
Oh yeah.
people shitting on venues, shitting on owners, comics shitting on each other.
Oh yeah, for sure. It was pretty bad. When I was in Phoenix, there was a lot of you'd show up at a show and there would be somebody, somebody be like, "Oh, you're on this show, are you?" And it's like, "Well, yeah." And then come to find out later, like they were like, several comedians told me not to do a show with you because you say crazy shit, and it's just like, well, what are we supposed to be doing? Saying no
Yeah.
crazy shit?
I ain't doing TED Talks
know?
up here, dude.
Yeah. This ain't a TED Talk. You know what I mean? It'd be like Luke Stam. You know what I'm saying?
Dude.
Like, it's like you couldn't be on a show with a dude like that because you wouldn't be able to handle it.
Yeah.
I've been able to, I've had comics talk shit to me from the stage. And then I have to go on next.
Why are people talking
Uh,
shit about
well,
You're
you know what I
literally
mean?
the
It's
easiest
just, but
person
you know
to
what I
get
mean?
along
It
with.
happens.
Yeah.
It'll happen. Somebody will say something pretty fucked up. You know what I mean? And you can either attack them or you just go up there, do your set,
Yeah.
and then you come off and then you attack them. You know what I'm saying? But
With a wrench in the parking lot.
yeah, but I've seen comedians drinking my beer when I've been up there, eating my food. You know what I mean? Like, these cats are hurting or something
Well, yeah.
because
Some of
dude,
them are
I've been up
homeless.
there-
So.
yeah, have you heard this? And I'm up there talking. I look over to where I'm sitting, and I've actually seen this one comic. This is in Phoenix.
Mhm.
Here, I've actually seen a comic drink my beer, but in Phoenix, I saw a comic drink my beer. But I saw one guy. I had just gotten my food,
Oh,
and
man.
I got and I went up, and I was doing my set. I look at my area that I'm sitting. And this cat is shoveling my French fries in his mouth. You know what I mean?
Hey, motherfucker.
Yeah. And I called him out on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I even called him out online later, like on Facebook or something. I was like, shit, I've seen from the stage. You know what I mean?
Were you
One
able to
is
get a new,
this guy.
Were you able to get a new order, or there's like too bad?
I called him out on it, and I wasn't about to eat it.
What's what I'm saying? Did the venue like, oh hey, here's some fresh fries? Or-
No.
Oh,
And
wow.
it sucks because the comedian that did it was like handicapped.
Oh shit.
You know what I mean? So it's not like I'm gonna be all, listen here, motherfucker. You know, you I saw you eating my food, and he was handicapped in a way, and I can't say his name or anything, but it was kind of jacked up because I wish I could say his name, but I won't.
Hey, start blasting people.
Yeah,
That Luke, have you seen Luke Stam down in Austin?
yeah, I heard he's doing good.
Holy shit, he's done Kill Tony twice. That's
Nice.
been released that I
Yeah.
know of. I have a feeling he's eventually gonna like get a golden ticket. Like,
I think you need to get away from this place.
to grow, yes. I think it's a great place to grow, but like you're gonna hit that upper limit. I mean, look, you got Sullivan. I know he's out of town now.
Oh yeah, totally.
Cotton's out of town.
Cotton is the one though. He's taken off like
Yeah,
pretty amazingly.
killing it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He's torn with like a legit comedian and
Oh,
everything
yeah.
too. So,
Totally.
Oh my god.
Big
Lusso is
stadiums.
going to be the next one.
I don't doubt that.
Yeah.
Yep.
She is killing it on everything.
I know. Totally. We just saw her at Nanos. It's
Nice.
hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah, that was actually pretty. Well, 4 or 5 guys. Lusso, Ashton Wayne, bunch of killers on that, dude.
Oh yeah, that was a
I
good
got
show.
to get to that goddamn show.
You do. You need to. What's going on your Fridays?
Uber Eats.
You know what?
It's-
Yeah,
It's
necessities.
okay. Some nights you're making minimum wage. Other nights you're
Mhm.
making a killing. Like Friday nights, you could stay out till midnight and make like 150.
Mhm. You ever try the DoorDash?
So every time I tried to do DoorDash, they say, "Hey, we don't have any available like space for you." And then for the week, or for weeks after that, they send me an email like, "Hey, you forgot to submit your da-da-da," and like." And every time I follow the link, DoorDash is like, "No, we're too full." And it's
Oh,
like,
so
what
sorry.
the fuck, dude. So I'm
Yeah.
thinking about getting into real estate actually.
Yeah. Go for it.
I would rather drive around town showing people new homes because like the payoff for that is like ridiculous.
Oh yeah.
You
for
know,
sure.
2 months of work can get you like $30,000 off of one of these like homes being
Oh
sold.
yeah, your
so-
commissions.
and like $30,000 is like what I make a year in Uber. So
Mhm.
that's the move I'm trying to make.
Yep.
If I could bankroll my stand up, I'd love to do that too.
Fuck yeah.
Like I don't want a real job. After
No. Who does?
Yeah. Like, especially the creative people that we deal with. Like
Oh,
I
yeah.
would love to, if I ever won like the lottery, I would literally be handing money to like comics. Be like, dude, I believe in like,
Certain
what you're
ones.
doing.
Not
Certain
everyone.
ones, not everybody. But certain ones where I'm like, I love what you're doing, but I see that you're struggling. Like there's comics that show up to open mics, they just absolutely worked their ass off.
Yep.
Like they don't have any time to breathe. Like it's admirable that even in that famine state, they're still like, I'm gonna feed the comedy as much as
Yeah.
I feed myself. I would love to be like, hey man, like here's $1 million. Like sorry about the taxes, but after that
Yeah.
you should be okay.
You get half. Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. Maybe even lower than half, I think.
Fucking
Yep.
stupid.
It is. It's crazy. You can't win.
How often
Yeah,
are
I
you
mean-
playing the lottery?
Not very often. You know what I mean? When the big one comes, like me or the wife might go do something. And you know what? I was generally a lucky person, so it's like I don't know why I don't do it. You know what I mean? I wouldn't say I'm lucky to win one of the big ones or anything, but
Yeah, I think you're like more likely to be struck by lightning
Oh, yeah,
twice.
for sure.
than,
At least
to
me.
win the lottery.
yeah. And me, I'd be laying down or something, and it would get me right in the dick. You know what I mean? That would be my luck.
That would be a cool Marvel.
you know.
Could start doing a Marvel movie.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be blown up, you know what I mean, like a firecracker. You know what I'm saying? And it'd be like, oh, it'd be
The
laying there
bleed
like-
out would be pretty crazy.
Yeah, I'd survive though.
There's a guy
You
that's
know what
been
I
hit
mean?
by like lightning like 7-10 times or
Yeah,
some shit. Like,
Totally.
See if we can find that dude.
Totally.
Person hit by lightning the most. Royce Sullivan. He has a Ranger cap.
7.
Dude.
Dang.
The human lightning rod.
Man, I bet you when the one that he has, the burned hat, that probably smelled like hot dogs.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
He looks like he smells like hot dogs.
That's what I'm saying.
7 lightning strikes.
Weenie looking head.
That is fucking
Totally.
insanity, dude. So where I work in the military, if there's lightning within 5 miles of the base, they tell everybody to go inside.
Shut it
So
down.
like
Yep.
I'm never that close. And then
Mhm.
because that's what I do at work, when I come home, like I have an app that tells me like where the nearest lightning strike is. When it's within like 10 miles, I won't go outside.
Really?
Yeah.
Like,
But
crazy.
I love sitting out on a porch and watching, a storm roll through. But because I'm like convinced I'm gonna get hit by lightning, I'm like,
Crazy. I mean, I have me and my wife, when we first got together, we went camping, and we had a lightning strike like right next to us. It was crazy.
Holy
Yeah.
shit.
And when I was young, I felt the actual ozone. You know what I mean? You can feel
Whoa.
the air changes. There's a smell.
Yeah.
The hair on your face will like lift up, and then crack, the tree next to us blew up.
Fucking shit.
So yeah. And it was, we should not have been camping. It was like completely stupid. You know what I mean? Arizona monsoon season.
Yo.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been close enough to lightning to see it hit anything and like destroy it. Like I've definitely been within like a quarter mile and you're like, holy fuck, what was that?
Scary.
But never like, oh hey, that tree that I was just looking at got
Boom.
split.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
that's,
yeah, nuts. And like I said, it was if you don't know, and I didn't know the first time, but if it ever happens again, I'll know what that is.
That
you know,
smells so distinct. huh?
Yeah, and the your face, like your face hairs, you'll actually feel the energizing.
Dude.
You know what I mean? You'll feel the. Some people will, like in my old Boy Scout manual or something that I was reading, this Boy Scout troop leader was walking up a trail, and his walking stick, which was made of like an oak tree or something like that, started cracking, like started making
What?
noises, and he was like, "Holy shit, lightning's coming!" So he told the kids to lay down, get down, and bam, lightning struck.
Yo.
And I guess somewhere along the line he had heard that, wood will creak or something when lightning's about to strike. Like I don't know if it's the magnetism in the air, because it's, you know what I mean? This is,
Yeah, the charge.
you know,
Yeah.
it's like positive or whatever it is up here and negative down here. And then
yeah.
it'll get fuzzy, and then it's almost like, come on, baby, come on. You want it, come on. You know what I mean? And
That
then
fuzzy
pow.
foreplay.
Yeah, totally. Exactly. Yep. And then boom, lightning's going to hit you.
Dude.
Sorry if I'm too loud.
No, you're
I
good.
scream.
You're
Yeah,
just
man.
trying to stay out of the red there.
Yeah,
That's
totally.
all we're trying to do.
Boom. Oh, yeah.
There you go.
See, I'm red.
Doing sound checks in the middle of the episode.
Yeah.
It was crazy. The first time we did an episode, I literally saw everything on the screen that was in front of me. Like, you're not able to see any of the production the first time around. But now
yeah.
you can see if you're centered. You can see if your audio's fucked up.
Yeah, it's looking good.
Yeah, man.
Totally.
Fucking love this setup.
That's badass. And then you just cut, when you edit, you just cut between all these.
So, no, the top right there, that is what's
The
being
main one?
baked into the video.
Cool.
And because I'm too ADHD to sit here and switch the cameras,
Yeah.
like that is literally what's going to go out there. It used to be like when I would talk, I'd hit a button, and then when you talk, I'd hit a button, and it was too much of a distraction. And now I have
Oh,
a
yeah.
program that when it makes the clips, like it'll literally pull like the because they do like the letterbox like vertical.
Mm.
It will literally do that for us instead of it's fucking badass, dude.
Yeah, like the producer's
AI.
always in the other room.
Yeah, I
So you
would
can't hear 'em.
love to have a producer. Well, actually, I do want to hear if you and I were on a roll. Like, I want to hear a
No, his
producer
button pushing.
laughing.
You're not
Yeah,
gonna
well, this is
hear that
actually
shit,
really
yeah.
quiet, like super quiet. It's all rubber and everything. So.
Yeah, I know the new shit.
I was talking to Matt G really early on, about the same time I talked to you, and he said that a board's technology like this, like 20 years ago, this would have been over $1 million.
Yeah.
It's like 400 when I
Yeah.
bought it. It's
Those
just great 'cause,
cameras.
with cameras, the internet connection, like all of the stuff that's in here now would have been like millions of dollars.
Yeah. And only they could have owned it.
Oh yeah, because it would have been like the size of this table.
Yeah. And FCC'd and, you know what I mean?
Probably.
Like all that stuff. Because I don't know if you remember that movie, Pump Up the Volume.
Pump up the jams. Remember that one? Pump up the jams.
Well, Pump Up the Volume was about that kid who has the pirate radio station, causes all this mayhem.
Was that based on a real story?
I'm not sure. But can you imagine if the waves were open?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Can you imagine if anybody could just get on the radio and get on the
Did
TV?
you see the Max Headway controversy out of Chicago?
Yes, when he appeared on TV and nobody knows how it happened.
And nobody knows how it happened.
Yeah.
Nobody knows who it is.
Yeah.
Like to this day, I think he did 2 things, and he just completely stopped.
And he just was like didn't he just move his head back and forth or something?
He
weird?
said so. Max Headroom was known for being like a social commentator and stuff.
Yep.
The guy that whatever however he did it. He was saying some like almost like anti-establishment shit. It wasn't like commentary. It was more like anti-establishment shit.
But it was fake, right? Wasn't it a fake Max
100%.
Headroom?
Yeah. You were talking about somebody hijacking or like doing stuff on license. You hear about the kid? He was scraping the Indiglo shit out of watches to make a nuclear fusion or something like that. They actually so they detected this kid on satellites, wondering how the fuck, like, why is there radiation in the middle of this neighborhood?
Yeah.
They go in there and they find that he's actually got like a lead box and he's trying to like fucking get radiation going and stuff.
Yeah.
His house turned into a super fun site because they had to clean up all the radiation and shit.
Oh, so he was just like fuzzing up his whole family.
Yeah.
Holy
He ended
cow.
up being a nuclear submarinist.
He's
too.
not dead.
I don't know if
He's not sick
still
or anything
alive.
crazy. Yeah, you know what I mean? With that kind of environmental exposure, you would think.
Nuclear.
That wouldn't be good.
Reactor. Teenager. Taylor Wilson, at the age of 14, Wilson became the youngest person to achieve nuclear fusion. He built a reactor in his parents' garage that would smash atoms at over 5 million degrees Fahrenheit. How the fuck do you handle that kind of heat?
Yeah, really.
Wilson was inspired by his fascination with radioactivity and the power of the atom. He later finished his reactor so he actually finished his project.
Wow.
What
Somebody that
the
smart, you're not
fuck,
going to
dude.
punish.
Well, so you have David Hahn.
You know what I mean? It's like those Nazi scientists. They were like, no, let's not hang those guys.
He's fine.
Von Braun, or who was the guy that did the rocket? It's still like,
I think it is Von Braun.
it's like the,
Nazi, NASA rocket engineer.
yeah, Werner von Braun.
Yeah.
Still to this day is like mathematics on rocketry are like what they still use.
Did
And
you see
he was a Nazi.
For All Mankind
No.
on Apple TV?
No.
So it's an alternate timeline of the NASA rockets and everything. So America doesn't make it to the moon first. Russia does. And pretty much every episode something goes wrong. They fucking save the day. But like it was so cool seeing because Russia got to the moon first, it continued, like it's still, the show's like in between like 2010 and like 2020, like they keep leaping into the future. It was so cool seeing the stuff that they actually pulled NASA concepts that were abandoned because we went to Apollo 17, 18, and we stopped. NASA actually had plans to have like a heavy lifter, like this huge thing that was like water, like it they pushed this platform out to the water and this huge, so fucking cool seeing that shit.
You mean like they were gonna like shoot a rocket off it?
What was that?
I've seen the floating launch pads.
That's what's Elon's doing now with that fucking that return rocket and stuff.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Water.
Yeah, it looks like a dildo.
Yeah.
You know, it'd be cool, like ultra reality, if like Mexico made it to the moon first.
That would have been badass.
That
Have
would've
little
been,
sombreros
you know
on
what
top
I'm
of the
saying? Yeah.
space helmets. and
Dudes
shit.
selling chiclets when you get there, cleaning your windshield. But yeah, that'd been badass.
Where was it? But yeah, totally recommend seeing that movie, that show. It's on Apple. But it's just literally like take 5 like Saturn V rockets, like it was that kind of circumference.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're gonna make it like nuclear powered or some shit. But really badass.
Yeah, it is crazy.
You watch
know,
any
and
shows?
do I watch? You know, I don't, man. I haven't. You know, I mean, I think I've been watching like Alone,
What's that about?
the show where those people go off into the woods and hang out
Oh,
with
the
themselves.
History Channel, right?
Yeah, totally.
I forgot the title of that.
Yep.
Did you watch Curse of Oak Island?
That's just, you know what I mean. It's like the Bigfoot.
so slow.
You know what I'm saying? But the Bigfoot too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
These motherfuckers are, where are they? Like, next thing you know, they're in Saskatchewan and,
Yeah.
you know, they're talking to these, you know, local yokels and stuff. I
Hey,
swear
man.
to God. Well, I caught one fighting a raccoon over a chicken wing. You know what I mean? Like, it's stupid.
What
You
I
know
hate
what I
with
mean?
Ghost, the Curse of Oak Island is, they really don't know exactly where like the treasure is, and it is literally taking them like a decade to find
Yeah.
small clues, and they still haven't dug like exactly where, because they don't know exactly where it's at.
We found a rune stone 40 feet down or something.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
And it's all
It's
Knights
all
Templar.
teasing.
It's all Knights Templar.
It's
too.
all teasing too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Every commercial, it's like, you know what I mean? Come on, baby, I'm gonna
Yep.
watch this show later.
if you start to like psychoanalyze TV and you see Kurzweil Island is like the best thing because it's, hey, what's that? And then they pull something up, but they don't show the camera, and then be like, oh, commercial break.
Yeah.
Once you get your Coca-Cola fix, cool. It'd be like, oh, we just found like a butt plug from like the 13th century. Like nobody fucking cares.
Ebenezer Johnson's butt plug. Yeah, totally.
It's hopefully it pays off eventually, but like it's getting to the point where it's like you got 2 more seasons of my interest, and I'm just gonna fucking wait until.
Oh, you watch it?
I watch it.
God, I can't.
every
Yeah,
fucking time.
and you know, I tried to watch the Bigfoot show, but after the second episode, I'm just like, Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, the thing is, you
And I
would
wanna believe
find
Bigfoot's
out
there.
in the news
Mhm.
before, because it takes months to produce those shows.
Yep.
In the news, you'd be like, "Hey, we finally found Bigfoot," and then 6 months later, you'd actually watch the show of how they found Bigfoot. But
Yep. Totally.
fuck it.
And you know, they say whoever finds him or catches him, or proves that he's real gets $1 million.
That's it.
Yeah, and I had
In
this jacked up
2024?
dream, dude. I had this. I was in Northern California camping before we came to Colorado. Me and my family were camping up the West Coast, and we were in the Eel River or the Snake River.
Okay.
You know what I mean? There in California, where the famous scene of
Yeah. What's the
the
name of that
Bigfoot
video?
whacking. Yeah,
Yeah.
not the Zabruder. That's the
Yeah.
Kennedy,
Zapruders. Yeah.
But yeah, you know what I mean? So one of those nights I was sleeping and I had this dream. I heard this like whimpering.
The Patterson Gimlin film.
Oh yeah, totally. So I have this dream where I hear this whimpering and I'm on the Snake River or whatever it is, or eel. It was an eel or snake. But I'm sitting there and I hear this whimpering and I look over. Holy shit! There's Bigfoot. He's
Dude.
sitting on the edge of this creek and he's got like a big old like piece of glass or something in his foot and he's like, rah, you know, and he's looking at me like, help me, rah, you know, and he like looks his foot and I'm like, oh my God, it's Bigfoot. And like in my dream, I don't help him. I like pull my gun out and I blow his brains out.
Yeah.
You know what I
It's
mean?
important to make that.
I was
mill.
like, yeah, I just killed Bigfoot. And then all of a sudden I hear like, no, but in Bigfoot, like, rah, you know, and I look over and it's his like wife and kid. And I was like, what?
That's dark.
Yeah. It's terrible.
$3
It's
million.
$3 million, baby. But in my dream, it was like terrible because I call the sheriff and the sheriff comes to speak to me and all these cops and the news is there and they're all, man, we can't, you shot him. And I'm like, well, I didn't have a camera and who's going to believe this? You know what I mean? I look like Bigfoot. So they were like, I'm just like waiting for my money. And they're like, well, there is no money. And I'm like, what do you mean there ain't no money? And they were like, well, we didn't think there was really Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I killed Bigfoot.
It definitely
and
sounds
his
like
family.
some 2024
Yeah,
shit. Like,
it was
oh, you
terrible.
actually did the thing we asked you to do?
Yep.
We didn't think it was going to happen.
Yeah. Oops. Yeah, but that was a dream. I didn't kill Bigfoot.
I wonder if
Or his family.
if that did happen, if like wildlife conservation would come and be like, hey, you killed a known like endangered species. Like,
Yeah. Beloved,
yeah.
you know, this beloved animal.
It would change the profile because like there's a company in Colorado that has like the Bigfoot logo.
Mm-hmm.
Like you would have to change the dimensions based off of what actually happened.
Oh,
or
yeah.
what's actually seen.
Yeah, what if he's actually not that big?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What if he has like a third leg? Just
Yeah.
a crazy dick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
When we found him, we found the footprints. We also found
Yeah.
a trench in between.
Yeah.
the
And that's what's
footprints.
so stinky. You know what
Dude.
I mean? They're always like, "Oh, it was so bad." You know, they always say that.
Yeah,
when
wasn't the
Bigfoot's
smells one
around,
of the first things?
stinks. Yeah,
Maybe it's that ozone.
yeah.
What got you off the scene for so long, dude? I know
don't
for me
know.
it's like mental health shit.
Playing pool. My wife got busier. Works nights, so no mics.
Shit.
You know, I watch the kids when she's at work. So
Yeah.
they're now older, but you know what I mean. It's like I'm not
You're
gonna
still
be
13,
13,
still
yeah.
not a.
Yeah. So it's like, but yeah. So I just haven't kind of been
Okay.
laying low.
That did. So when my ex-wife started cutting hair, like all the money's made in the afternoon. It was all right, cool. Like, we don't have any kids, but as soon as the kid was born, that in and of itself is a bunch of stress. But now it's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
okay, I don't want to go out to an open mic and feel guilty that like Sam's already, overwhelmed and shit, and I'm over here
Oh, yeah.
talking about dicks and
Mhm.
shit. Like,
Yeah, those things will get to you. Like when
yeah,
I took a break when my mother passed away.
boy,
I just didn't feel like being funny.
yeah,
You know what I mean? I think that was like 8 months.
damn.
I didn't do a single thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So sometimes you take breaks.
For me, after I got my divorce, I was like, all right, cool. New Year's, I'm gonna do open mics 4 or 5 times a week. Like I had this big fucking like plan. I ate the biggest bucket of shit at Vultures the first week of January, and like I was still emotionally recovering from my divorce, like all that stuff. I'm like, this
I think I
isn't
saw you there.
healthy.
Didn't I see you there?
You probably because I think it was
That was one of the only ones I went to. Like I don't go to
Dude.
very often.
You used to host that venue. Now that it's
When it was the Angry Pirate.
yeah, Angry
Yeah,
Pirate.
Totally. Yeah.
That was a rough room.
Yeah. The bartender
still
was
is a rough room.
smoking.
Yeah.
Bartender be smoking in there like, you ain't taking these cigarettes from me. Yeah.
Wasn't there an issue with like the hot dogs at one point? Like he wanted to get kickback on that, and
Well, what happened is like we had the hot dog, you know, and in Phoenix it worked, you know what I mean, when you have the food or whatever. And here, but this is what happened. We have the hot dogs. Everybody's digging it. And he walks out into the crowd and starts telling all the comedians how stupid we are because he bought these hot dogs and they costed him absolutely nothing. What a bunch of idiots.
Yeah.
And he's talking to like Mark Kidwalk Britton. You know what I mean? Like a famous comedian. And he's telling this to him. And he's like, oh, well, I guess I'm not coming back. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Because you're calling your
Is it because he's
people
selling
stupid.
alcohol there? So you know he's making his money back on some $5 worth of fucking hot dogs.
maybe $3 a pack.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
those are pre.
But yeah, and I
prices.
think he told Sarah Be Serious, I think, and she was just like, oh, good for you, you know what I mean? And he was just like, these idiots are in here eating these cheap ass hot dogs.
It's like these idiots are paying
Yeah,
your fucking
it
overhead
was
right
pretty
now.
ridiculous.
Genius.
Yeah, the hot dogs.
The renovation that Vultures did on that
Oh,
venue,
yeah,
I was
man.
like, this doesn't even feel like
Completely.
the same building.
The smell.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? They got rid of the smell.
yeah, that's what
You
happens when
know?
you get rid of mold.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you know, and it's like you would come home smelling like that place. After
Yeah.
my mic, and it wouldn't matter how long I was in there. 5 minutes, poof, I'd come out just
That's what
stinking
mold
like
does.
old French fries
Yeah.
and cigarettes.
The only thing I wish Vultures did was take out that fucking pillar in the middle of the floor.
Oh yeah,
That-
I don't think they can.
Yeah, I think it's like load bearing.
Yeah, it'd be kill motherfuckers.
Put up barricades or something. Because I hate when people get behind that thing. Because I've seen you do sets there. I've seen just absolute killers doing sets there. And some asshole will get behind that, behind the pillar and start talking. So
Oh,
now
yeah.
you have a room split between smart ass commentary and like a legitimate comedian. It's like, dude, fuck you.
Yeah. It's them, you know, those people. They like to butt in or think they're helping the show.
I hate that.
I was totally helping the show, you know.
Like, really? Because you're fucking up my timing.
Yeah, for sure.
If you want to butt in, fucking write notes and I'll put it in the next set. Like,
Oh yeah. But you know, that's entitlement.
What was the last show you did? Because you've been producing shows. You were producing shows often.
Show I was on would be a Matt Gabriel show, I think up in Denver.
Oh, wow.
Mm,
Okay.
that was the last time I performed on
How
a
long
real
ago
show.
was that?
6 months maybe. God. Yeah, it's been I'd have to look. It's
Yeah.
been a while. Yeah. I got called out of the blue. Hey, you know. Come out.
We need somebody.
Let's do it. Yeah.
We're talking before we recorded. You're wanting to maybe do a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
Let's talk that one out. See if it gains any
Tales from the
traction.
Ripped, baby. Tales from the Ripped. You come on, you talk about your most if you want to, you know, some people have some really jacked up stories.
Yeah.
But you know, if you were drunk or if you were high or when you were on drugs. You know what I mean? And you come in and you say some crazy stuff. You know.
I think the drunkest I ever been. A buddy of mine was drinking Grey Goose. Grey Goose. That's vodka, right?
Yes.
He used to get like the fucking liter bottle and just glug 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 glug, and then put a little bit of cranberry juice in there and be good to go. I picked up that habit for like 2 seconds, and I got the tall bottle. I got by myself down below the label, like just drinking stupid amount of vodka.
Oh yeah.
But we were down in southern New Jersey. It wasn't Atlantic City, but it was like one of the outskirts there. And my wife at the time was just like, let's just get a hotel, like, so we don't want to drive all the way back up. Seediest fucking hotel like ever.
My
Like
favorite.
You open the door and you're like, someone either died here or sold drugs within the last 72 hours. Like, it's that fucking seedy. But I fall asleep with my pants on, and halfway through the night, I'm like, oh shit, I gotta puke and I gotta piss. So like, as I'm getting around the corner, like I'm already starting to like prepare like my pants and stuff. I kick the fucking door frame because I turned a little too hot, dude. Fall down to my knees because goddamn, I kicked that thing so hard. And then like I'm like, my pants are now fully down around my ankles, and I like scoot forward to the toilet and just like puke my fucking brains out. I will say, as shady as that hotel was, they did a decent job cleaning up that toilet there. Because at one point, I'm doing the hug, and then when I went to go back to sleep, I literally just took my pants off completely and like turned that into a pillow. I'm just kind of like Donald ducking it right there on the fucking floor.
And that's the best place. It's all nice and cold.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? The tile around the toilet. You're like, oh, I don't care. There's
the spins were a motherfucker. So I had my sock off and I put my foot on the cold tile. They try to ground yourself on that.
Yep.
Ooh, that was a rough night.
Oh yeah. When you're trying to be like tough. When you're trying to be cool.
Yeah.
I once had this guy. Like I say, I play a lot of pool. And I was probably about 25. And me and my buddy are at this bar. And I'm playing these old biker guys for money, and $10 a game. Nothing big. And I'm kicking all their asses. And then this one, they're the oldest guy there, man. The oldest dude there, I guess the wily old coyote. He comes up and he's like, $10, huh? And he's like, yeah. And I don't know if it was his daughter, but he had this really good-looking girl with him.
Nice.
And she immediately pounces on me and starts running game. I don't know what she's running game. You know what I mean?
Okay.
She's just like, oh, my God, you're so cool. I love your hair. Let me touch your hair. And while she's doing all this, the old guy is taking balls from the table and putting them in the pockets.
Fuck.
And then I look over. Shit, man, I have no idea. You know what I mean? And so I catch him. My buddy, actually, Turtle, comes over and he's like, hey, that guy's dropping balls. Man, I get so pissed off. I want to kick his ass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I move that girl out of my way. I'm like, you're cheating, old man. I'm going to beat you up and blah, blah, blah. And this guy looks at me and he's like, hey, man, I'm sorry. You caught me. Holy shit. Calls the bartender over. Says, give me 5 shots of 100 proof Sambuca. And the lady goes, you're paying for it? You know what I mean? He's like, yeah, and she comes back when I thought we were all going to do them. And this guy goes, I tell you what, son. You do these 5 shots of Sambuca, and when you're done, if you still feel like kicking my ass, we'll go out there and you can kick my ass. I was like, you're on, old man. Pow, pow, pow. Instantaneously, I'm a goddamn, drunk.
Really?
I mean, my buddies told me that I, in the period of, a minute, I went from, I'm going to kick him to, and I couldn't stand. You know what I mean? I could barely stand. The guy bought me a hot dog. The guy buys me a cheap-ass hot dog. And I'm still mad at him. You know what I mean? But I can't do a goddamn thing. I'm so wasted. And hands me a hot dog, you know what I mean? And then I'm thinking he's kind of cool because he hands me this hot, even though he almost killed me.
Yeah.
And so he gives me the hot dog, and he looks at my buddies and goes, well, looks like you're taking care of somebody tonight. And then my buddies had to carry me to my car. And this is at my fattest, I think. I was 230 or something. So my buddies had to carry me to the car. I'm totally wasted. You know what I mean? And my buddies were fearful. They almost thought about taking me to the hospital. And but had the worst hangover the next day.
Oh, yeah.
Flash forward 10 years later. I'm 35 years old. I go to this house party of a friend who's just graduated college, and I'm in a basement. And there's this huge, 6'7", 400-pound Hawaiian guy that absolutely is pissed off at me for looking like a Hawaiian, according to him. And I'm not Hawaiian. And I'm like, dude, I'm not trying to be Hawaiian. Why you got your hair like that? I'm like, this is the way my hair grows. I'm Mexican. This is genetic. You know what I mean? This is me. I don't care. You're trying to be Hawaiian. This guy was he was wasted.
Yeah.
And he wanted to beat me up because he thought I was fake Hawaiianing. I don't even know what it was. But this guy was huge.
Yeah, Samoans are big dudes.
Yeah. So I think in my mind, I go, you know what? All of a sudden, that thing from that bar pops back in my head. I look over, and we're downstairs in this basement, which is very rare in Arizona.
Yeah.
A basement in Arizona, and we're in this basement, and there's a bar, and I see this brand new bottle of Jack Daniels sitting there on the bar. So I walk over. I didn't have shot glasses, but I had this one glass. So I open up this bottle, man. I go, come here, man. All tough, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I crack this bottle open, and I pour this monstrous. There was too much, in the bottle to fill the glass, but I filled that fucker up. And I says, yo, tell you what, man. You drink this glass of Jack Daniels, and if you want to kick my ass when you're done, well, you might as well. You go ahead and kick my ass, man. We'll fucking fight right now. This fucking Hawaiian dude looked at me, grabbed this glass, goop, goop, drank this big old glass of Jack Daniels,
Oh fuck.
wiped his mouth, grabbed the bottle just to prove it more, took a few more slugs.
Is this a fifth or like the
It's a fifth.
bigger hand? Was a handle? I think it's probably.
It's probably a fifth, yeah.
Okay.
But it's
Jesus
yeah,
Christ.
and then takes more slugs out the fifth, puts it down, looks at me, and is about like, all right. I mean, this dude just crumbles right into this huge man.
God.
He was already drunk before that, thankfully, because like I said, this guy was like 400 pounds.
Yeah.
Maybe not 400, maybe like 300 something. But he was huge,
Yeah.
And so, he just crumbles right in front of my eyes. And I'd say like, I've never, you ever seen anybody fall out of a lazy boy? Out of a lazy boy recliner? You gotta be drunk.
You
know what I
fucking
mean?
annihilated.
You gotta work to fall out of a lazy boy. You know what I'm saying? This dude wasn't even on earth. He was so drunk.
Wow. Was he trying to like roll in bed, but you have
He
to
was
be in
just
a chair?
so drunk.
God damn.
It was starting to hit him bad. Like he was probably getting the spins and getting sick. But I remember my buddies were like, "Man, that was an asshole move," and I was just like, "Dude ain't kicking my ass." You know what I mean? I can fight, but I can't fight a 6'7", 300-pound Hawaiian.
Those dudes are built different.
He just bear hugged me. You know what I mean? And I don't
Yeah.
even, if one punch, I don't even know if that would do anything, because he had, pretty chunky cheeks.
Dude, the worst hangovers I've ever had have been on Jack Daniels. Like literally, as you're explaining that, like I have a headache just thinking of how bad
Oh, yeah.
Jack Daniels is.
Never seen the guy again, thankfully.
Yeah, he probably died
Yeah.
that night.
Well, he was huge. I should have died, but thankfully, like I said, I was probably at my heaviest at that time, so
Okay.
I didn't die. And I was just drinking beer before that.
That's
Um,
beer and tequila. So I think I'll fuck with.
yeah.
Like, and I sip my tequila.
That's kind of what I do.
Yeah.
Beer and tequila.
Slow sipping though. Like I like a tequila I can have a conversation over. Like if anybody shoots tequila around me, I'm like I'm not.
Oh yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I'm out here.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't do that anymore. I don't do shots anymore. And lately, like shit, I'm pretty much down to drinking one night a week at my pool league.
Yeah.
So
Just get one or two beers. Or
You know what I
something.
mean? Oh no, I drink my beers, bro.
Oh, dude.
I put it in my pool. Me and my pool league night had good times. You know what I'm saying?
One of my favorite clips that we've ever done together was throwing the cue ball through the window. You got some wild ass stories,
Oh
dude.
yeah, yeah.
Oh
I
my
do,
god.
totally. Mm.
How long were you playing pool in? It was New Mexico or Arizona?
No, that was Phoenix.
Phoenix.
Yeah.
Okay. How long were you playing pool like on that scene?
I've been playing pool. I didn't start playing pool until I became 21.
Okay.
When I started going to bars, and I
Okay.
just started playing pool, and I love it, man. A friend of mine had a pool table at his house afterwards, and we just loved it. We played.
I got a
jumped on
foosball
a lead.
table now.
Hell
The
yeah, I love
studio
that too.
now has a foosball table.
Hell yeah.
So.
I'm looking for a pool table too.
Those are heavy and expensive.
Yep, I just moved one, and I proved that me and my buddies can do it. So
That's good.
you know what I mean.
Leveling that thing has to be a fucking pain in the ass.
If you get yeah, because they're heavy, and then some of them because you gotta you do it in the feet.
Yeah. The problem with my foosball table, I got it for like $100. I was like, oh, good price for all this shit. The fucking floor is like warped. So
Yeah.
like I'm trying to like wedge pennies in there and trying to like get the shit going. But maybe next time you're out here, not only do we have a cool studio, we'll be able to play some foosball.
Hell yeah, man.
But yeah, how long were you on the scene in Phoenix, like playing pool? That was 21 to.
When I started comedy, I quit.
Okay.
You know what I mean? My wife was like, "You
You
gotta
started
pick one."
comedy late, right? Like
Mhm.
40s. Yeah.
So, like, my wife was like, it's one or the other,
Yeah.
comedy or pool. So, I just quit pool and went to comedy. And I didn't play competitive pool for almost 12 years.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was crazy.
The stories you have to have over 20 years, though. Like,
Oh,
we
yeah, I
only
have
know
some-
two.
yeah, wild ones.
Yeah.
Dude, Yeah.
What's the closest? Would the pool ball, the ball through the window, would that be your scariest moment of like I'm close to get my ass kicked? Or have you ever been in a physical fight? Like
I've been in physical fights, yeah.
over pool.
Over pool, yeah. I had a guy bust a bottle over my head,
Dude.
and I tackled him, and I ended up, like, it was kind of messed up because I had this huge gash on my, I still got a scar up here somewhere, but I got him on the ground and I got him on his back, and I'm just like aiming my blood on his face, and he's just all, you know, that's pretty bad, yeah. It was terrible, but yeah, I got some crazy pool stories. Like one, snake eyes, dude. I used to work with this Mexican guy who told me that I could never hustle in a Mexican bar, and he's like, if you ever came, he went to this pretty tough bar, El Capri or something in Phoenix, and he was like, if you ever went to a Mexican bar, like a real Mexican bar, a Mexican bar, you could never do this. They'd kill you. And so I took that as a challenge. So I went to the bar that he told me I couldn't do this at. And, God, was it the El Capri? I can't remember. Or was it the El Paradiso? They're now closed, or El Capri might be open still.
Uh-huh.
But I went into this pool hall, and I start playing for just $2 a game. And I start pissing these guys off, man. I don't even speak Spanish. And these guys are mad at me. You know what I mean? They're calling me every name in the world. My buddy is there translating. He's like, man, these motherfuckers hate you, you know? And
so yeah, I got the gist of that.
in this bar were some, like, up in the upper level, like the VIP level of this nightclub was El Paradiso, I think it was. But up on the top was this, like, VIP room. And I had no idea guys were up there betting. They were watching the tables.
Oh, fuck.
And so I was going there every Friday, for probably like four Fridays in a row, a month. And I get there, and when I would walk in, they knew what I drank. I would drink Corona with lime. Like, they all knew me because I was causing such a commotion. And then these guys liked me. After, like, the second time, I just became part of the scene. And they all wanted to play me. They would all try to play me just for $2. Try to beat me. And, like, I'd go 17-0. You know what I mean, before losing or something like that. But one night, this guy, when I walk in, the bouncer, he's got this scared look, and he's like, hey, they got some chinito here, snake eyes. And I was like, what?
Chinito.
And he's like, chinito means Chinese guy, like what the Mexicans call
Okay.
Chinese guys. Or an Asian. Any Asian's a chinito. Yeah. So I'm just like, what? You know what I mean? Like, they're like, yeah. There's a chinito in there looking for you. And I was like, what the hell? So I come walking in, and I look at the pool table, and there's all these guys standing around. And there's this Chinese guy or Asian guy, and he's got these sunglasses on with these little snake things on his eyes. You know what I mean? Like they're those sunglasses with, like, snake pictures, or like, yeah, when they move, they change colors or whatever.
Dude. It's like hologram kind of.
Hologram, like, glasses, but he's got these snake eye things.
Okay.
And he's kicking ass. I kind of sit back, and this guy's making bank shots on him, and they're like, wow, you know. So I walk up, and this guy comes up to me, and he's all $10 a game, and I was like, oh, you know what I mean? And I saw how good he was, and I was a little bit intimidated at first, but I was like, okay, let's go. Let me see what you got. I beat him. He puts up 10 again. I beat him again. Some other guys want to play, so he goes off, and he's pissed, man, and he's all mad. And we play about 3 or 4 more matches, $10 a game. We push it up to $50 a game, and I lose, and then I win, and then I lose. And then it's just like we kind of go back and forth. Nobody's really making any money. And then finally I was just like, dude, I got to go. You know what I mean? I'm just getting drunk. And when I get drunk, I don't play as well. You know what I mean? When I get really drunk, because I get all cocky and I start trying to do stupid shit. So, yeah.
And all that shit.
And so I had this idea in my head. I says, you know what? All these guys in here know that when I get drunk, I start shooting like shit. So I walk over to the bouncer, and I tell the bouncer, bring me 5 shots of water, but act like it's vodka or act like it's alcohol. So he goes over, and he comes back with the waitress, and the waitress hands me these shots, and I was all, fuck, man. I go, boom, boom, and I drink these shots of water. And he, you know, and this guy's like, ooh, and I hear guys, I see, you know, dudes that didn't like me there start talking to him. And I know what they're saying. They're telling him when he gets wasted, he starts sucking. You know what I mean?
Shit.
So I drink this water, and I act it. I play like I'm really drunk. You know what I mean? And I can drink fucking beer, dude. I can drink beer all night long. But alcohol, once you add alcohol, I become a retard. So, dude, I'm like, I start acting it up. You know what I mean? I start taking shots. I start hitting shit hard. And then I start telling him, you know, I go, 100 a game. And he's like, 100 a game. And he looks up at the second floor VIP section. I don't know why, but he starts looking up at the second floor VIP section. And then he's like, I'll be back. And then he comes back and he has the $100. And I was like, holy shit, you know? And so I put my 100 down and we start playing and we get to the final shot on the 8-ball and it's a pretty easy bank. But I say, you know, another $100 on this if I make the bank shot.
Oh, shit.
And he now believes I'm wasted. You know what I mean? And he now thinks that I'm doing this because I'm being over cocky.
Yeah.
So I walk up there. I don't even take 2 seconds. Pow. I hit the shot. I start hearing insane chinga tu madre, like all this like crazy cussing coming from the upper level.
Oh, shit.
And like crazy cussing and yelling and screaming and all this stuff. And this man who was dressed very nice with the head bouncer of the place comes up to me and they're laughing. And this guy who's dressed very nice comes up and throws his arm around me and he's like, my friend, you have made me a lot of money. He's like, but I got to tell you something. Do not ever come back. He goes, don't ever come back. I used to have this big, crazy, famous Suburban. It was metal flake blue.
Yeah.
And he's like, you and your truck. Everybody knew my truck. Like I didn't. But that was when I realized, holy shit, they all know who I am, you know.
Yeah.
But he's like, you and your truck, don't even drive by here. He's like, you made me a lot of money, my friend. And I must have pissed off like some crazy cartel guy up top. Because this guy was like, don't ever come here again. I never went there
How
again.
much money did you make by the end of the night?
Just me by myself. I probably made about $300.
Okay.
Not much.
And they're up there just gambling.
They
their
must have
balls
bet
off,
something
like-
big, yeah, on that. And then they must have bet on the shot too.
Holy.
Because I
fuck.
said, you know, and like I said, I did those shots of water, and they thought I was wasted. That's what, you know, that's hustling.
Yeah.
You do these weird things. You know
Not
what
with
I
the
mean?
cartel involved.
No, but I had no idea that was going on up there in the VIP room there because you could see the pool table. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty wild.
That is insane.
Yeah.
Anything sketch here? Running pool tables or?
Nothing here. Well, you know what? I played a murderer. This guy, his name was Paris at the old Angry Pirate.
Oh shit.
Sometimes after the show, I would hang out and just kind of shoot a couple games on the pool tables they had there. And one night I started playing this dude named Paris, and we were only playing for a couple games or a couple dollars a game.
Uh-huh.
Hold on, let me get you real quick.
Oh yeah. We gotta hydrate everybody. Liquid Death. Give me a call.
Yeah, I'm
Liquid
getting that
Death.
cotton mouth. So I just started playing this guy, $2 a game. He's a good shot, and I don't I'm just beating him. You know what I mean? And I make like $8 off him, and then it's done. He don't want to play anymore. So I play him a couple more times, never for money, and every time he would see me, he would be like, "Don't play that guy for money," which would piss me off. But I'm watching the news, and the guy ended up gunning down some lady at Woody's. You can look it up. His name's Paris or something like that.
Holy shit.
But yeah, he ended up gunning down some woman at Woody's bar on
Woody's
Pikes Peak.
Bar, Colorado. Shooting.
Yes.
There's much info. When did Google start dumping their dumbass AI in here? I don't. Opening statement's going to trial of man accused. Paris,
There he
taller,
is. Yeah.
36, young
yeah.
guy.
Yeah, he was young dude. Yeah, yeah, man.
What
That was
the
crazy seeing him
fuck?
on the news. I'm like, holy cow! Like, what? You know, I don't know why he gunned her down, but
Open statements.
yeah, there he is. He was a nice guy when we played.
Dude. Killed a 51-year-old. Wow. Still see it in the driver's. Oh, so he shot somebody in their vehicle.
Yeah.
Shot her 3 times point blank and sped off. It's a lovely town we live in, huh?
Mm-hmm. You know, they say it's getting rough. I grew up in like one of the worst neighborhoods in America at the time when I was growing up, Maryville,
Uh-huh.
Arizona, which is Phoenix, but it was pretty bad. Pretty crazy.
I heard. I think it's Canyon City is like in the top 3 now.
Oh yeah, they
And
got a
Pueblo,
KKK.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, they have the KKK there.
It's fucking wild.
We were
dude.
told not to go there, or I was told not to go there
By who?
by locals.
Yeah.
Yeah, people saying, yeah, you know what I mean. Go to the lake, go fishing, but as for going into the town, nah.
When I first got here,
Yeah.
I was like, "Hey, where's the open mics? All this stuff." And somebody's like, "Yeah, I do an open mic down in Pueblo." And like every other person was like, "Don't go to Pueblo.
Yeah.
They're like, you're gonna get stabbed if you go like by the boardwalk and shit."
You're gonna get some fentanyl.
But yeah, I think Pueblo's like top 5 too. It's weird that we have such an awesome city here, but like literally within like 45 minutes, to an hour. you
Yeah.
got some like murder capitals of the world.
Yeah, what would Pueblo? Pueblo would be like the Cleveland of Colorado.
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally.
It sure feels like it. There's a couple times I had to drive through that. And it's like
Yep.
it does feel like an East Coast.
Oh, the Steel City.
Yeah,
You know what I mean, or whatever it was,
yeah. Pittsburgh steel. Not sure what.
because they had a
Cleveland
big
was
steel
for.
scene there.
Yeah, yeah. Because now it's called the Rust Belt. Because like all that steel production is like left and
Yeah.
nothing but rust left.
Yeah, and tweakers.
Dude, it's the only thing. There's two things really that I don't particularly like about Colorado Springs is the homeless situation and the driving. The driving here is just absolutely bonkers.
I've never driven with worse drivers.
Yeah.
And I experience the homeless thing every day.
Yeah.
I live right next to a park and a creek, so it's wild.
Yeah. What I hate with it, so with Uber Eats, I drink a gallon of water every day. It doesn't affect me until I'm getting up, getting down, getting up, getting down in my car, and my bladder's just like, what the
Yeah.
fuck's going on? There's certain parts of town I know I can't go to the McDonald's because the shit's going to have a fucking lock on it. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'm over near the Academy. I should be good to go. I'm down near Nevada and was it Las Vegas?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, like, no.
Yeah, they're like, "Mm-mm,
No.
you ain't getting that key. You ain't getting that thing. Yeah, man.
I went to the I think it was a Mavericks, and I go push on the bathroom door, and I'm like, fuck, this thing's locked. So I go talk to the front door, and this lady just like reaches under and hits a button. She's like, it's good to go. And I go over there, and it's like magnetically,
Yep.
like that's usually what they use on base for like secure buildings. I think they use those in hospitals too.
Oh yeah.
Like, oh, you're trying to get into this lobby, like got to get buzzed in.
Yep. Can't
That's
kidnap
how
no
serious
kids.
the homeless situation is, where
Dude.
we gotta put magnetic locks on shit.
Yeah, where I used to work at in Phoenix, they had, people get mad. You know what I mean? That, oh, you're being inhumane by not allowing you to use the bathroom. But they would go in there and lock themselves in for hours, and there'd be like standoff situations
Yeah.
from these people.
Doing,
Open
like,
the door,
heroin.
and yeah, we had a lady pass out in there,
Yeah,
and blood squirting out everywhere.
dude.
You know what I mean? Like the chick was laying in there, and she had blood squirting out of her arm. You know what I mean? So it's crazy.
You gotta love that.
You gotta
opioid
lock that
crisis.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's why I say nopioids.
No opioids. I'm about to get my wisdom teeth taken out. No,
Ooh.
I'm not sure what they're gonna give me.
Mm.
Like, I'm not gonna fuck it. I'll have a half of it. Enjoy. Like, oh, this is why everybody's so happy with this.
Yeah.
But I'm not taking a
Just
second
don't
pill.
crush it and snort it. You know what I mean? Just don't do anything like that.
Well, you're not
Just
supposed to.
take it as intended.
That's how I do my Adderall.
Take it as intended. Adderall. Yeah, that stuff. You know what I mean? People.
I am prescribed it. I can definitely understand why people would want to be on it. It's definitely helped me, like with my ADHD. But like,
I gotta have ADHD.
it's really easy to get diagnosed too, as long as you can prove that your ADHD has affected your personal life, your work life, and your hobbies for more than 6 months. It's like you're a shoo-in
That's
for
crazy.
it. I probably just told people how to score Adderall easily.
Come on. Yeah.
But when they were adjusting, because you got to figure out, all right, where's this too much stimulus? You don't want to like get yourself fucked up. I got up to 20 milligrams. I felt like I had an adrenaline rush in my chest for like hours.
Crazy.
I'm like, I love this because doing stand up, it's mostly the adrenaline rush.
Mhm.
I was like, I love this feeling, but like, one, I know I'm not going to go to sleep tonight, and two, this is probably not good for my heart long term.
No.
Because like the thing with Adderall is they have to do your blood pressure like every 6 months, because you could possibly like stroke out with like high
Oh,
blood
yeah.
pressure and shit.
Yeah.
So
Yo.
yeah, that's not the way to go. So you said you think you have ADHD. I think most comics
I gotta
do.
have it. You know what I mean? I gotta have something.
Are you like me?
Something's
Buy
wrong
like
with
a
me.
million notebooks. Like if you go up into my bedroom right now, there's probably 20 notebooks
No.
that I just bought. I'm like, that's gonna get filled with something. And
I don't like. I do everything in my head.
uh-huh.
So
that is true.
it's
I forgot
weird.
about that.
So it's like I have all these, like, I call it my files. You know what I mean? They're just kind of like my files on a Rolodex that are just kind of like, you know what I mean, just spinning up in there. That's the way I feel how it is. So I probably should write shit down, but then I get dysphagia, where once I go to, that's why I can't like use a computer. That blinking light stops me from writing. I will go to the thing, and then I'll just get the block. I'll grab my pen. I can think of it all day long.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is the whole conversation is going on in my head. The set is going on in my head or whatever. But
do you do
once I
voice
go
demos?
I probably should, but even that kind of, because I think faster than I can speak.
Yeah.
So it's weird, man. It's weird.
I feel like I have something of the sort that you're talking about, is stuff in my head. Like I literally hear like the dialogue going through my head, but as soon as I go to transfer it to paper, one, it's the writing speed, because I'm not able to keep up with that. And two, I don't know if it's because of high school or what have you, but like having to write proper, like I can't just like.
I chicken scratch that shit.
Yeah. Oh, my handwriting's terrible. And there's actually a sign of ADHD too. Is like if your handwriting's like fucked up.
I got really bad handwriting. Like it's like a chicken in first grade.
Yeah. Yeah. My chicken had a seizure anytime I talk. Like
yeah. My brother's was beautiful. My brother was famous for his handwriting.
You know who has amazing handwriting? Thad B. I wonder if. Open darts. That's Thad B's handwriting right there.
Let me see this. Oh yeah, very nice.
Yeah, dude.
Totally. I can totally read that.
Yeah. With me, it's terrible. It's what I hated was in middle school or elementary school, they teach you how to write cursive, which is basically how to write faster in general. Well, when I was in middle school, we had like the worst English teacher in the world. She just fucking critiqued everything. She's like, your handwriting sucks. She's like, in the middle of a long word, you're doing cursive, prints, and then ending it with cursive too. She's
That's
like, figure out one. Like, but you guys taught me, like, all right, if the pen can be held down and go to the next letter, like it's a hybrid.
Oh yeah,
that's why all my
that's
handwriting is
what
like all
mine
capital.
Mine is a hybrid.
Yeah,
it must be. Yeah, because you got to see my notebooks. You wouldn't be able to read it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember seeing one of your notebooks, like, this dude's, like, awesome. Because it looked like it was, like, straight out of high school. He had, like, some drawings on the front. Like, this dude's fucking awesome.
I had the pentagram.
That's right.
Erased.
I just got mine right here.
Nice. Yeah, I had the pentagram, which is, straight up high school.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're boom, 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 on your notebook with the eraser.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I did the eraser on that shit.
Oh, yeah. We take out the actual, like, you take
The color.
the print out of it. Yeah.
Ridiculous. You know what's funny is my... when we were talking about Luke Stam earlier, I wanted a logo, and I gave Luke Stam the gist of my logo, of what I wanted it to look like. And hold on, I got to get this thing.
Yep, sure.
And I sent it to him. I'm like, this is what I want it to look like, and he just gave me my logo the way after he just put it on a piece of paper. Hold on 1 second. I got to get up out of here.
Oh, you got to head out. Okay, well,
Let's see. Boom.
So the funny thing with this was the same program that I used to make the thumbnails for YouTube. I was like, all right, let me fuck around and everything. Like, literally all of this is just taking pre-existing stuff and just adding extra layers to it. So
Oh yeah.
I want to see this logo maybe next episode. So
Yeah. Oh, here it is. Boom.
Oh, so okay. Yeah, I've seen that before.
Yeah.
Are you still putting that on posters or?
Not really. Like I said, I ain't doing shit.
I know a
I need
couple
to bring all my
graphics
stuff back out.
designers be able to hook you. Actually, Georgia, we both know one.
I mean, I
George.
kind of like it.
Yeah.
It kind of came out cool.
It does
You know
have
what I
like
mean? You know what
its
I
own
mean?
personal
David-esque,
touch to it. Yeah.
You know? Childish. Chicken
So-
scratchy.
Okay, dude. So, do you have any social media you want to put out there?
I
Any
really don't.
Handles.
I'm gonna start doing more stuff. I promised myself I will start going out to more mics and trying getting on shows and actually writing again, because I wrote for that show last Thursday, some newer stuff. You know what I mean? I haven't been writing,
Yeah.
so I'm not really paying attention to social media or anything. So I need to start events.
Once you get rolling, it's easy.
Mhm.
It's the big hurdle that kept the podcast out there, not being produced, was the social media side of it.
Yeah.
But if you have long form like this, you can have AI clip it out and everything. Makes life a lot easier.
Yeah, I need that AI, bro.
Yeah. I was pushing against it so much, but I was like, wait, you make my podcast easier? All right, maybe AI's not so
Somebody's
bad.
gonna help me think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to get out there more.
Okay.
I need to start doing videos. I have these crazy videos and skits that I wrote that
Nice.
I need to start actually doing.
I like
You
it.
know what I mean? Because I'm not doing them.
Gotta
Yeah.
put out that content, dude.
For sure.
So, all right. Well, I got nothing to sign off with. We are now Grow Up Podcast on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and I'm working on what's that new one that Instagram's linked to?
Threads.
Threads is not talking to the program that I need to, but eventually Grow Up Podcast on pretty much all of those platforms should be good.
Very
to
nice.
go. It was great seeing you, dude.
Thanks for having me.
I gotta see you at an open mic sometime soon. So.
Oh, show. Let's plan it.
Absolutely. Love you guys. Bye.
Bye.